We are taking calls at 617-830-4750. Our next caller is from the 732 area code. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Kyle. I'm from Philly.
What's on your mind, Kyle?
So something I've been thinking about a lot since the election is this idea that the left can, take back power through progressive politics. But what worries me is that there might still be like a strong contingent of like people who are neoliberal. And concerned with not progressive politics. You know what I mean? Like, especially with the what I'm thinking of. The popular vote being 3 million higher in
For
in the
Hillary.
2016 election. For Hillary. Maybe that's just a sign that everybody who supported her moved to the same few cities, and maybe gentrification had a role in playing with Trump's election in the first place.
Yeah, there's a couple different issues there. One is you're sort of talking about like corporate Democrats, right? It sounds like what you're talking about when you talk about this center of the Democratic Party. It's sort of like the corporate Democrats that are neoliberal. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I think that there's something to that. Although if you look at, so there's two things. There's number one, where is the country going? And number two, where are our elected officials going? The country has been moving to the left on just about every issue for decades at this point. If you look at what percentage of Americans think now that abortions should be legal in most cases, highest number we've had since Roe v. Wade. What percentage of Americans believe that, and this is sort of settled law at this point, but that two people of the same gender should be able to get married to each other? Record high on that. Taxes should be used to reduce income inequality. That's a pretty left-wing position in the mindset of America in many cases, not in other parts of the world. You have support for that is higher than it has been for a long time. Business regulations. So I think what the issue is sort of, Pat, is that while the country keeps moving to the left, the elected officials that are able to raise enough money to get themselves, the candidates that are able to raise enough money to get themselves into office, are still sort of these corporate Democrats, at least in the Democratic Party. And that's what needs to be shaken up. And campaign finance reform is sort of a big part of that.
Absolutely. It's also interesting, too, because Democrats do have an inherent advantage when it comes to the Electoral College because, so many people live in California and New York that are voting Democratic, that you just have these in your bag, it seems. So for this past election, it's clear that it was lost in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, and in Wisconsin, that Rust Belt area.
Right.
So if we just picked a better candidate, say Bernie Sanders with his left-wing economic populism, there's no chance that Trump would have been able to beat him.
So you're now fully on board with Bernie would have defeated Trump. You're fully on with it.
I understand you can never really know for sure, right? Because the conversation during those few months would be completely different. The course of history, maybe they would have dug up something scandalous in Bernie Sanders' past. We never really know.
Right.
But yeah, I've taken that position.
Okay. So anyway, I think that there's a lot of interesting questions there. I don't know if we're really answering any of them, but I think that this deals with some sort of broader issues among the American left.
Yeah, I think especially in Philadelphia yesterday, we had Larry Krasner win the primary for district attorney, who's committed to, working on lowering the prison population, especially with young black men in the city, which has been such an issue for so long. And I hope that it's possible that the whole country can move in a position where we're going to start electing actual officials who are committed to social, racial, and economic justice.
Yeah, might be nice. All right, thanks so much for the call. Really, really appreciate it. On that note, we will go to a quick break. Facebook.com/David Pakman Show. Give us a like on Facebook. We'll be back with more of your calls after this.